Yay. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Amanda. Okay, so make sure like if have pen and paper, just so you can take notes of like the process. And then I also have like a few like brainstorming prompts for you guys too. Just try and spark things for you to take with you after this call and to put into practice. So this system itself is like very simple, and it's completely based on adding just genuine value and support to people. So it's personally helped me shift from thinking of like connecting with people in their DMs from being like a sales minded purpose to now I'm connecting with them with this purpose to like I'm going to help them with something. And I don't know if anybody else kind of struggles with that, but like I've shied away from wanting to connect with people in chats and like in DMs beyond a certain point because I never want them to feel like I'm connecting with them just so I can like give them an offer to like join our community or whatever it is, you know. And so I just didn't want to like, because I know it happens to me on social media sometimes where I'm like, is this person just building a conversation with me because they want me to buy something? So that's what I have been like taking in my mind into conversations. And this like system that I learned about had me understanding that like it's not like a sales pitch, you know, this is a process that feels genuine. And it's completely focused on helping people regardless of whether they can like join you right now, which opens up doors for you in the future with them as well. So no matter what with this process, I'm connecting with people just in a genuine way to help them and add value to their lives. So it's about support, not the sale, but it ends up help like co what do I want to like working with each other well. What is that word? I'm telling you guys, like my brain is off today. So I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it would have been a good one. They like help each other very well when you're working to support somebody that they naturally can see the ways that you could help benefit them. So it's a 4-step process. Step 1 is identifying your ideal client. 2, grow a social media account and following based on your ideal client in mind, so that your following is your ideal client, basically. And then you connect with them in a direct message, and then you get them on the phone. You convert that direct message to a phone call. And I'll put this, let me just copy and paste this, and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. So it's super simple, but there's like levels to everything. So identifying your ideal client, step 1. In order to coach people, you kind of got to figure out who it is you really want to be coaching. Who is your ideal client? Usually this is going to be somebody that you were in the past, you know, like prior to utilizing Beachbody and this community and all the tools that you've learned through it. That person, like we all have a transformation story. Lindsay's been sharing hers and like getting us to share ours lately. So if you can kind of think about that, you should already be able to tap into who you were before this evolution. Like, how did she feel? What did she worry about? What did she think about? What did she struggle with? What were her excuses? What was her mindset? And how did she view herself? So the whole premise of this starts from that, like knowing who your ideal client is. So you're not just like spouting out information on a bunch of things. It's like directed at a certain type of person that you can relate to because you probably have been that person. So just going to take a minute here. I want you to kind of write that down. I can post it in the chat too, but just thinking about who is your ideal client. How do they feel? What do they worry about? What do they struggle with? What are their excuses? What's their mindset? And how do they view themselves and life? So, just real quick, don't overthink it. Just jot some things down. Okay, and you can always add to that after this call if you have more things you want to add, but you have like a good focus in your mind so that you'll be able to kind of build on that with some of the other things that I'm going to talk about now in the other steps. So step 2 and 3 kind of go hand in hand. Growing a social media following with your ideal client, like of your ideal client, and connecting with them in a direct message. So with growing your following, you do this by focusing on creating social media content that's valuable to them. You know, you're putting out helpful tips, mindset tools, habits, anything that can help them, your workouts, your shakes, everything that's helping you, you know, you're sharing, not just like the Beachbody aspects, but like what that's also led you to, like our personal development, the journaling things, our morning routines that we post about. And it's just putting that content out that adds value, and it builds trust. It helps them get to know you, and it's focused on starting conversations with them. So thinking about that, what would you tell that past version of yourself who you were just writing about? What would you tell that past version of yourself to help her through where she was? What helped you? What habits do you have now that help you avoid where you used to be? So don't overthink this either. Just, I'm going to give you a minute here. What would you tell your past self? What has helped you? If you could like call up yourself 5 years ago, however long, a month ago, however long ago it was, like, what would you tell them to get started? I'll put this in the chat too.
Recording progress.
Lindsay, where are you? You're in the dark. Are you at the game? Just nod your head.
Hi.
Hi. Are you driving?
I'm driving.
Oh
I'm
my
driving.
God.
Sorry. We had an emotional ending to the game, so I was doing some damage control, and then my phone was dead. So I'm driving though.
Okay.
We had to get some food support for our emotions.
I understand. I understand.
I'll tell them later. They're doing a work call. Okay, Bubba? Want to say
Well,
hi? Say hi.
hi, buds. Miss you. If they even know who's talking. Okay, drive safe.
Of course they do.
Of course, I'm the only one ever talking. Okay, let's see here. You guys can finish those up. And I just want you to realize, like right now, with those things that you wrote down, you've already realized where you were in the past. They're your like ideal person that you can help now because you've already been through the things that can get them out where they are because you were there, and you are either like building momentum out of there, you know the tools that are going to get you through, or you've already broken free from that. So I know that like imposter syndrome kicks in sometimes, but like I want you to look at everything that you wrote down, um, and just like kick imposter syndrome to the curb, because one, like 90% of people out there don't do personal development or mindset work or meditating or like leaning into a community or knowing what types of workouts that they like and all of these things that you already know. And that's just a huge, huge, huge value to people. And two, you've already worked your way through, so you know exactly what to say to them. Like, you don't have to learn a bunch, read a bunch, pay a bunch for like a ton of certifications. Like, you already have that knowledge to get them started. And you have a huge community here for support with them as well. And just really, really know that what you have to offer is so valuable. Like, we're helping people transform their lives, and that's not something to be timid about. It's not something to be shy about. Like, there's changing lives, people. Like, spread that SHIT everywhere, okay? And just do it unapologetically, confidently, and with love. Because I mean, really, you're coming from the best place. You want to help people get out from where they are if they're struggling and help them to where they could be. So take this, take what you've written down. You wrote down some valuable information that you could share with your ideal client. And when you're sharing this stuff on your social media platform, they're going to find you. If you're consistently sharing valuable information, your ideal client is going to find you, follow you, share your stuff with people, and interact with it. Um, and you don't have to like feel confined by a specific niche. Like, you can always change it over time. Just because this is your focus now doesn't mean it's needs to stay that way forever, but narrowing down your message will help the right people find you. um, and to do this, of course, we're talking like creating reels, posts, doing lives, going on your stories, and putting out content in all those areas that encompasses that value you have to give to people. And really think about your social media page as your website. Like, we don't need websites. We have social media. Like, that is our landing page. That is our business card. Like, everything that they're going to see on your page should be a reflection of the value you have to offer and targeted towards who you're trying to help, basically. I mean, you could gain like a huge following of people from like a random reel, but then you're going to have random people that might not be on your page for the things that you really want to be doing, help in the people that you really want to be helping, you know? So just don't worry about all the likes and comments and views right now. Just really not worry about, focus on showing yourself, showing your passion, your excitement, your knowledge, and just add value. Let them know that they can trust you and they can gain something from your page. And then you will grow in an organic way because of that. So if figuring out reels is stopping you, or you're too scared to go live or anything like that, or do stories, you got to educate yourself on that. If you don't know how to do a reel, then, you know, find a YouTube tutorial, because there's so many. That's what I had to do. And then follow people who explain like the Instagram algorithm, because it's crazy. And it changes all the time, Brock Johnson is a really good one for that. Let me put his Instagram name in the chat, because he's a really, really good one to follow. I send those to Jessica all the time, because we yell about the algorithm all the time. But if you're clueless about anything, if you're uncomfortable with anything, you gotta like educate yourself on it and just get going. I hated public speaking. Like, I probably would have thrown up like a year and a half ago, or whenever I started with Beachbody, maybe 2 years ago now. I have no idea. I like Lindsay asked me to go live one time. And I was like, okay, but I think I'm gonna puke. And like, I don't think I'm a great live speaker by any means, but it's like the more that you keep doing it, the more comfortable that you get with it, and you can just kind of be yourself. So if you're not there yet, just get started, because confidence and momentum is gained along the way by taking the steps. So look at your favorite social media accounts. What do you like? What do you not like? And kind of just try to start playing around with what works for you and put it on your page. And if we need to do like a live in our community about social media, or like another call, we can always do that. Um, Feel free to use the chat, because like, if you have any questions, I'd love to answer them. If you feel like you need more training in those areas, I think I already said to Lindsay, like, some of these things could probably be a call in themselves, but just let us know. Jessica, thank you. You're a wonderful speaker. You speak to my soul all the time. I love you. Thank you. You're so sweet to me. And one thing I did learn from the calls to help with that like content creation is like to think of it as a concept of like you have four pillars that sustain the foundation of your social media, and they're based on the foundation of your life, like what's created and maintained your change. So it could be your daily workouts, nutrition, cooking, motivation, personal development, journaling, whatever it is, like have four strong pillars that you want to post about. And then when you're looking to create content, you can pull from those areas because you know, like, I want my page to show a variety of things. These are the four things like super important to me. And then you can just kind of plan those out. I like to plan my posts for the whole week on a Sunday. And then I work on, like, I'll actually create the images if I have time. I'll take a day to record a bunch of reels so I don't have to do it every single day. Like, you'll find your own flow with it. So just don't let the fear stop you. I'm going to take a drink of my tea. Okay, so that leads us to step 3, connect with them in a direct message. So once you put that value into all of these posts, you get to connect with people and interact with them, have genuine conversations. Um, so like when to start a DM, I'm sure some of you are already doing this, but anyone who's like liking or commenting on your posts, if they do like a little heart interaction on your story, or they do the like, slider or participate in a poll or anything like that, or you could even do, Jessica told me this the other week, she'll even just be like, the first people to respond to this will get like a free 30-minute mindset call with me this week. And then you have all these ways to interact with people from the content that you put out. So that's why it's so key to be intentional with what you're putting out there to make sure it's something that adds value. Because even if it's like a new recipe that you made, talking about the final 90, it could be mindset, or it could just be like a transformation that you've been through. Like anything that relates to you and your ideal client is going to be something you feel like comfortable getting into a genuine conversation about. So I want to give you a minute to come up with something that you can post tomorrow with this in mind. So, what is something you could share about that would start those value based conversations? And how? Is it going to be a post, a reel, a story? So, just take a minute here and make that plan for tomorrow. And I will put this in the chat too. Okay, so you put your post up. How you respond to these, like comments, likes, hearts on any of your posts, you just kind of ask questions and you get to know them and why they found value in what you said. Like, kind of learn what they're struggling with, build that trust. It can just look like, hey friend, I saw you participated in my poll or whatever it was, slider, etc. whatever you were asking, like if you were asking a question that could, based around value, you could say, like if it was let's say you put up like a recipe, a recipe of something that you were trying out new, and you're like, been working on finding healthier alternatives to things and get back into healthier habits after a crazy summer of indulgences. Maybe you put a poll on there and just ask if anyone is struggling to get back into healthier habits after summer. And then they can vote on the poll or whatever it is. And you can reach out and say, oh man, I saw you're struggling with getting back into a routine after summer too. What's been your biggest hurdle with that? Or if they say they're not struggling, say, I saw you're not struggling after summer. What's your secret? What's going on? We can use people that are like, got their shit together in our community too, and you're just building relationships based on them. And this is actually, I was like picking Jessica's mind earlier in this week because she does a really good job. So Jessica is a great person to ask if you have any questions on this, because it's something I'm just starting out to. I mean, I've always been interacting with people who interact with my content, but it hasn't always been in like a question type way where I'm really just trying to like get to know, see what they are struggling with, and to build like a value-based connection with them. So just keep it simple, get the convo started, stay authentic to you and how you how you talk. You could even just say like, hey friend, I'm curious what made you swipe on my story. What do you think you struggle with most in this area? Or even like Lindsay had one today she shared in the chat, and it was like, thanks for the support on my transformation post. It's hard putting myself out like there. You could be like, have you struggled with any of those things I mentioned? You can just build that conversation where it's not necessarily putting an offer right out there right then. You're kind of opening the conversation to learn more about what their struggles are so that you know better how you can help them. And then just kind of like continuing to build that conversation, and takes you to step 4, which is getting on a phone call. Oh, what is this? I got a chat. It says, what about all of the random dudes just trying to flirt with you without any interest, or the random salespeople trying to turn it on you? That's what I'm getting from Instagram. Yeah, those, Leslie, I just ignore. I don't do anything with random dudes messaging me. I delete them. I don't look at them. Most of them go to like the other messages or spam messages, but like I just delete. I haven't got anything like inappropriate where I felt the need to block. Usually I just ignore, delete, and I don't get anything else. But yeah, they're out there. They are out there. But yeah, so step 4 is trying to get those conversations onto a call to see how you can support them. So some of you are already doing this and like rocking it at like having conversations that lead to getting people on a call. If you have any tips, please put that in the chat. A call is something I've never converted a chat to a call yet. It's just something I've been learning, and then I'm going to implement. I'm sharing with you guys. But from what I'm learning is just to keep it simple. As you're having those talks with them, you like just say, you know what, I'd love to support you with this. Do you think it would be beneficial for you if we hopped on a quick call this week? Or I'd love to hear more about this. Do you think we could hop on a quick call this week? It's just something to, open the doors, and you set up that time and have a call with them if they're open to it. And for the actual call, it needs to have a structure to it. It's an enrollment call, so it is a sales focused call, but you have to do it in a way that has a specific structure and feels authentic to you. From the training I went through, they said it like a script or a process that you follow every call, where you're just genuinely seeing and asking questions to get an idea of how you can help them, and then offering the opportunity that you feel is best for them. So I have an enrollment call structure I found. And I'll share the link with you guys so that you can kind of look at it and, adapt it to your own. And I'll do a quick rundown of what it looks like before, because I've tweaked some things, and I'll share the link with you guys after. But on the call, you're there to get to know them, to get to know more about where they're at, what they're struggling with, where they want to be, and to offer solutions based on that. So you start asking them questions, what they're struggling with, what they've been trying, what hasn't been working, and why it's important for them to reach that goal or create that change, and what would it look like, and what time frame they have in mind. And then you kind of like build up that vision for them. You're like, I hear you're saying it's important for you to do X, Y, and Z by the end of the year, right? And make them see how they can start working towards that. Let them know you want to work with them and you want to help them towards that. And then offer the best solution for them based on what they've been telling you, based on their goals. So you can say, based on what you said, I really feel like this final 90 challenge is going to be great for you. It's amazing. We have, so much support in the community. We have $110 gift card giveaway. Like, everyone has so much success last year. We focus on mindset, just tell them all of the reasons why you think it's good, and I think that would be really important for you because you said you struggle with, you know, lack of accountability or whatever it is. And then you just say, do that. Do you think that would be something beneficial for you to help you getting to that goal? And see what they say and go from there. If they say no for financial reasons, then give them another option that's less expensive that you still feel will help get them towards their goals, and state why you think it's a great option for them. Because if it's a no, for the big, opportunity that we love to offer to people, it doesn't necessarily mean it would be a no for something littler. And then they're seeing the community and it could always grow to something more. If it's a no because of timing, you can let them know why this is the perfect time. You know, you can, and just relate it back to what they were telling you. They've already told you why it's important for them to hit this goal. So you can use that and you can just say, I can tell this is so important to you. And I know it can be overwhelming to think about adding more to an already full plate right now. And I totally get it. I was there too. I was just waiting for some day to come, and that day would never come. And I used to think it had to be this huge change overnight. So I had to like wait until I was ready to incorporate it. But it's not that at all. It's actually small changes done consistently over time that creates big change. And that's what we focus on in this community. And we completely tailor something based on what you think you can manage right now and build from there. Would you be open to trusting me? And we can find that time for you to get this goal done without you feeling overwhelmed. Like, you have so much more control over the conversation in a call, and they feel so much more of how you want to help them, why you want to help them, how it's actually going to help them with their specific goal. So there's so much power in that. And when they say yes, congratulate them, like, for prioritizing themselves, like, get that celebration going. Do a share cart. You could do a share cart right when they're on the phone, send it over to them. You could even do the whole thing on the phone if you wanted to, get them added to groups, all of that afterwards, but just build the excitement and the support for them. And then on the other hand, this was really key, and this is why it's helped me like change my whole thought process around these like sales. If it's truly a no, and there it's still not the right time, they still can't afford it, you completely shift gears. Like, let up on any type of pressure for a sale and meet them where they are. Like, let them know that you completely understand and respect that, and and that you have ideas that could help them right where they are, and give them free coaching tidbits that can help them right where they are. based on their goals. And you'll know what to say because you're essentially helping you from the past. What two things would have actually helped you back then get started? Maybe even just change your mindset a little bit so you could see the value in these programs. So for me, if they were saying they're struggling with committing to working out, I would say, okay, well, what you could do is realistically think, what can you commit to for working out within a week? Start small, start with something that you can tackle and have no problem doing. I would have them schedule it, like what days is it happening, what time of day, put it in your calendar right now, and then show up for it. Send them sample workouts, send them a habit tracker or something. You can get free habit trackers on Canva. You don't even have to fill it out. You just send it to them and they can fill it out themselves. And then my second piece of advice for them would just be mindset. I would have them be doing personal development every day. I would probably recommend Rob Dial's Mindset Mentor podcast because it's free. It's 20 minutes. They can listen to it whenever they want. And, just really letting them know that it's the mind and your mindset that assists you with the actions that you want to do. You're just helping them see, like, build a belief in themselves. And I don't know, I would probably tell them to make sure they're like recharging every day, like 10 minutes a day, something for yourself, no matter what it is, even if it's just sitting outside alone or whatever. And I would end the call leaving the door open for the future. You're wishing them the best and you're letting them know that you're here for them if they need any help in the future. And that also gives you room to check back with them in the future to see how they're doing with whatever they told you that they want to work on. And if they're still struggling, you can let them know, like, okay, we'll join our countdown to Thanksgiving or our countdown to Christmas or whatever it may be. Or they're perfect people to come back to when we have a free group or master class, like one of those free mindset masterclass talks that we do. So it's just a great opportunity to build a bond with somebody. They are going to trust you. They already know that they can trust you and that you can add value to them because you're doing that even though they didn't give you a sale, basically. And if and when they get to that point where they're ready in the future, they're going to come to you because you've already helped them. You've built that relationship with them. So it's just going to be so much easier in the future when they're ready, because who has built some type of DM relationship with somebody and then you see that they have Beachbody at some point, but it's with somebody else, and you're like, what the heck? Like thought we were working on something together, literally I had somebody be like, as soon as I have this baby, I'm gonna join with you. I'm like, that's great, and then it was like before she even had her baby, she was with someone else. Like someone else must have been on her. I don't know. But you guys, you get them on the phone and you build this relationship with them, this connection with them, this value that you're giving to them, which doesn't take very much of your time. And I feel like that will help lead to more sales than just sending, a random message through the DM, because it's the pricing that can scare a lot of people off, because you're not telling them why it's so important to invest that in themselves. When you're talking to them on the phone and you know exactly what they're struggling with, what they want to do, when they want to do it, you can use all of that to add to the conversation when you're telling them about the offers and why that's perfect for them, which can be done in a direct message because not everybody wants to get on the phone. But you could kind of follow that same structure. It just might take a little longer over DMs than it would on a call. So that's that. I know this call is recorded, so you can always go back and watch. The things I talked about on the call. I'm going to copy and paste this enrollment call structure, script I found. And you can just like make it authentic to you. I did a lot of changes based on what I learned from that master class that I took and kind of tweaked it to Beachbody for purposes of this call. Um, but yeah, just kind of comb through the script that I just put it in the chat and just kind of make it your own. But there should be some kind of like structure and flow to your calls. And then let's see. I just feel like it may be a little nice bump for you guys going through to the end of this week. There's a lot of really good sales going on right now with Beachbody. We all have those $20 off promo codes. This could be a very great tool to use. There's bigger bonuses available. So like, let's use these four things now and through the future. But let's try to get people on calls this week and see how it goes. Like I would love to hear if anybody gets anybody on a call and if it like how it goes for you guys. So I'd love if you unmute yourself, if you have questions or anything to add or put it in the chat. But that is it for that 4-step process. Oh, thanks, Amanda.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to make a comment real quick. I remember, so I've been a coach now for 9.5 years, and I think Amanda can attest to this too. I remember for years, Christina has been saying like, just get people on a call. It's a 10-minute call. It's a 5-minute call. It doesn't matter what the call is, but get them on a call, because the minute they're on a call, your percent of getting like your energy exchange with them is what I've learned. She didn't use that. That's my using, but like her, like that connection that you create through a call, it's almost like if they were in front of you and you put a product in their hand. So as a hairstylist, if somebody's there and you're using a product in their hair, if you put the product in their hand and you're like, yeah, this is what it looks like, and you hand them the bottle, once it's in their hand, there's a less chance that they're leaving without it in their hand, because now they feel like this is mine. This is right for me, right? And it's kind of the same thing. Once you get someone on a call, it's like your chance of being successful with that, whether it's just energized they're coming in with, or a 1-day bod pass, or the whole shebang, like no matter what it is, your chances of closing that increase tremendously. And for years, I thought, I don't need to get on a call. I don't need to get on a call. And I will tell you to this day, 9 times out of 10, I don't want to get on a call. I have way so much going on. I don't really have time for that. But I can tell the specific people that like, it's hard to go back and forth. And I'm like, listen, do you have time for 10 minutes to jump on? And if they do, and we get on and I keep it to 10 minutes and I respect their time, because that's a hard one for me. But then they're always like, sure, what do I do? Right. So I just wanted to say that, because I know that so many people listening to this call, recorded and live, might be like, okay, like I'm going to use all these steps except the phone call, because I'm just not comfortable with that. And I'll just close it. Like, this is all good. I don't need to do the phone call. And I want you to challenge yourself to think of it like, okay, I'll just do all the activity tracker except personal development. I don't need personal development. Right? Personal development, you're right. You probably don't need it to find success, but it's going to bring you more success than it ever will if you don't do it. And that's the same with the phone call. So I just wanted to back Tasha up. I didn't like hear all of this call because I was cleaning. I was doing a lot of things. But I'm excited to go listen to it again. And Natasha, I just want to say that I think your speaking skills are amazing. And this call is probably one of the best that our team has had in a really long time. So thank you. Okay.
Thank you. I need to get sick more often and just write down everything I'm going to say so I don't get sidetracked, I guess. Yes. And honestly, you guys, I can tell you, I've been with Beachbody. Is it 2 years? No. Yeah, 2 years. And I started my own one-on-one coaching business this year as well. And the thing that I have not been doing is phone calls. And when I got on a phone call with one of like Rob Dial's team, they gave me like like they just do free coaching calls here and there. I got on a call like that and they're like, you're not doing calls. Like it was like so mind blowing to them. And they're like, you shouldn't be putting the offer in a message, because like just get on a quick call with them, and you can learn about them and you can add value to them either way that way. And I loved that too, because of course on this call they were also trying to sell me to their like mindset community, of course. So like I got to like go through the whole thing, and they're talking to me like, what are your goals, what are your struggles, what have you tried, what is this, like this option would be great for you because of all of these things. I'm like, I get that. And I was like, I don't want to be in that community right now anyway. And he left me with like two pieces of information that were so helpful to me. And the first one was this call. He's like, you need to be getting on calls. And he's like, if you're not comfortable with sales, then you need to be learning about them and doing more personal development with them, finding like a sales call structure that feels comfortable for you, that it can be authentic. And it was really that value that he gave me for free, knowing that I was not going to join their community, that made me feel so appreciative. And I'm like, maybe I will. Maybe like maybe I will go back to this community because this was like such valuable information you're just giving to me. I know I can use it. I know I can see changes from using it. And I was just like really appreciative that they took the time to tell me that, even though they knew I wasn't going to join them. And that's what's helping me shift my thoughts from like, oh, I don't want to get them on a call and like sell them. I'm not doing that. I'm getting them on a call to see what they're struggling with and helping them. And I don't feel bad about offering up the things that we have going on, like Final 90, or even if it is just Energize or anything like that, if that can help them. And if it can't, then, leaving them with a couple quick pieces of information that can help them. And it leaves the door open. It's built a level of trust. And I think it's important too, because they trust you and they're going to be sharing that with other people too. And the more that you can do that and the more trust you build in people, the more those people are going to like not only share the posts and stuff that like that you put out, but like they're also going to be like, oh, if you're struggling, you should talk to this person. They have a great community. They told me all about it. They have all these things, and these are why it would benefit you. I know because they told me. So it's just something I'm going to have to get comfortable with. And I think it will be a lot easier now that it's not just, I'm not messaging people to build connection to offer them a package, like a total solutions package. I'm building connections with people to build value in their life and help them in some way. And, you hope that's with your total solutions package or coaching. And if not, you're at least leaving them with some value for their lives. So that's what I got. I don't have anything else. If anybody else does or wants to close the call, Amanda, Lindsay, anything about Final 90, or are we good?
I think we're good unless we have any last call leaders that want to jump in. But we've got 12 people ready to lead, which is awesome, which I think gives us one coach a week basically to lead. So that's awesome. And that means we have like $100 gift card. October's 120 and then $100 gift card for November and December to give away, which is amazing.
That is
Like
so
how
nice.
awesome. So exciting.
Yeah.
So
I think Amanda, if anybody's on this call who is going to be a coach helping with the Final 90, Amanda's getting us all into a Facebook Messenger chat. And then the people in October, we just need to talk about the structure for the giveaway. Basically, that is a hefty gift card. So it's got to be more than just like a weekly check-in, like we got to figure out how they can earn that. So yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, thank you everyone who's saying thank you. You guys are so sweet.
Yeah,
I hope it helps because honestly, like blew my mind. And I was like, I don't need to do a call. Like, I thought the same thing. So many people talked about like, oh, just get them on a call. And I'm like, no, I'll just copy and paste into the into the DM about what I have going on or whatever, you know. But I can see why that would not feel very good to people, because it doesn't feel very good if people are trying to do it to me. So,
Mhm.
I love everybody. I love everybody in this chat. But yeah, okay. Well, everybody have a good night. I don't have anything.
Does someone want to take a picture?
Oh yeah.
You want
You
to
want me
take
to
a
do
I'm
minute?
on my phone, so it wouldn't work
I'll
for
do
me.
that. If anyone wants to turn their video on to be in it, you can do it now. I'm singing. That's okay. If you're in bed, you don't have to turn your video on. Turn my chat. Let me get my chat out of here so they don't see it. How do I get this bigger? See, this is why I didn't do it. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, let me get this out of my face. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Guys, I did it.
I hope I don't have like something.
No,
I'm sitting here eating. Do you know what I'm eating? I'm going to tell you. Look at this.
what is that?
A steak. It's a steak taco salad.
Looks delicious.
Delicious. All right. I love you. You did great. Thank you.
Thank you. You weren't here when I said I'm feeling the best I've felt all day.
Oh, good.
Still a bit
This
stuffy.
morning, your first voice message that came through to me, I was like, "Ooh."
I know. I was like,
Oh,
I really hope I can do the call, but I don't sound that great. You're like, oh, you sound, what'd you say? Blah.
blah, blah.